going on? Lockie from Outback Tour on today's episode of What the Hell is the Bloody Difference Between These Two Tents. They look the exact same on the internet. We are explaining the difference between the 1.4x/1.2x and the 1.4 and 1.2x plus. Now, the difference is in the name, but we will go through a full list of features and compare them and see which one will work for you. So we'll close these down and we'll start with the closed height, and that'll give you a fair indication of all the differences that these tents have. First thing we'll notice is this tent here, this is the Plus, it is 200 mil compared to the 150 mil. Now, in the Plus, it sort of gives away with the name, but we've got more internal room by about 50 mil. So in this one here, we can get pillows inside as well as blankets. We've got the full run through of that in the Plus walkthrough, so I won't go too far into it, but just know that this one here can get pillows in it. Whereas this one over here, the original X, it can get your blanket in it. So internally, we've got about 55 mil of internal room. So that's enough for a sleeping bag and or a blanket. Now, we are bringing out a self-inflating mattress that you can suck down to 35 mil, which will be a complete replacement for the standard mattress. So you can put that in any of these tents here we're talking about, but that'll get that down to 35 mil. So you might actually be able to sneak a little pillow in there. It's not tested yet, but we'll have more content coming with the testing that. I know you can get the pillow in the 16 centimeter tent, the original 1.4 with the self-inflating mattress. So that is an option. And if you do want to keep your setup nice and sleek, that's why we offer both models. Really just depends on what car you have, how much bedding you want to fit in it, and that'll determine which one works for you. Some people just want to keep a nice sleek profile. Generally it's like if you've got height restrictions, or the younger crowd more than less wants to keep it nice and slim, and then you're doing big touring trips, you want to keep all your bedding in and you're moving site to site, you've got limited room in the car, you might want to consider doing the slightly thicker version, which is the Plus. Moving on, the next thing is the Plus has a double channel down the bottom, and the X, the standard one, has the single channel. Now, that means we can fit an awning bracket to the side of the Plus, and with the X, we have to do independent mounting. Now, it is of our opinion that if you can mount your awning independently to the tent, it is always a great idea. You imagine this is how much support you're giving your awning, the entire way back to your roof rack, like that. So you're cantilevering that the whole way back, you're distributing that force the whole way through your roof rack, as opposed to just the side channels of the tent. This, in our opinion, is the superior way to do it. And if you can do it, our awning comes equipped with these brackets, and you can simply install these first and then fit the tent on top. Now, that isn't always how it works. With my canopy and Christian's canopy in particular, it ends about here. So if we were to use this bracket here, then they would have no support under it. So we need to mount to the tent. Lots of tub racks means you have to mount to the tent. So that is one advantage of the Plus X. You can attach the awning to the side. We give you 3 of these when you buy it, and you can attach the awning straight to it. It is rated for it. But fundamentally, at their core, very similar tent. They share the same roof racks. They share a very similar solar bracket, which is the logo cutout ones. They share the same panels, latches, struts. They're all built the same. They're both modular and both a really good unit. I think that's all there is to say on the outside of the tents. It goes without saying, this one's sleeker. If you're after a sleeker profile, this is your tent. And if you're after fitting everything inside, including the pillows, this is for you. So we'll open them up and discuss some internal differences. Okay, tents are up. We can get a good look at what's going on here. Now, they do look very similar. We can appreciate that, but that's on purpose, because the reason we have 2 of them is for different purposes. Like I was saying before, the bedding, the awning, and a few other features like that. And then this one here is more important to people that want to keep it sleek. So same rainfly, same materials. 50 mil mattress in this one compared to the 75 in the Plus. Now 50 mil, very comfortable. The reason we've done a memory foam mattress is because it always finds its home. If you lay on it, it'll mold to your body, and it also is great for temperature. It'll regulate your temperature instead of like a high density, not as much. So the memory foam, a bit more expensive to do, and a great foam. The Plus, it has the 75 mil, like I just mentioned. So we've got a higher base. We can actually fit more thicker mattress in there and more bedding as well. The lighting, that goes without saying. We've got the singular strip light in the X, and then in the Plus we've got the 360. That 360 was part of the reason this tent took so long to bring out, trying to fit the X arrangement, that X hinge, and then also make sure the canvas was still replaceable and get that extrusion on the inside. It was actually really difficult, and we were going back and forth for months. Lots of late nights getting that one sorted. We had to redesign the X hinge. To the naked eye, it looks like the exact same hinge, but it has undergone a redesign just to get that all packed up nicely. The issue we were having is when we were closing it, it was putting a slight bow through the tent. But I'm sharing that with you to let you know that we didn't just release it like that. We went back and forth for months, and we sorted it out, redesigned the X hinge, made it a little bit different. So now it works really well with the X Plus and the 360 light. So that's all sorted for you guys. Now, even though this has the singular light, don't be too thrown off by it. Like, you can actually see just how much light that throws out. And to be honest, it is actually just as well lit, if not more well lit, because it's such a concentrated light as opposed to the 360. So you can move that up to the sides as well. So even though it's like a quarter of the size, the light it throws out, it still completely illuminates the tent. And then you can change it between colors and change the dimness as well. Another thing to note, the difference between them. So the canvas on this one is a 300 GSM canvas, so that's grams per square meter, with a polyurethane coating. When we go down to a 300 GSM, because it's not as thick as our 380 GSM, we do need to line it with a PU coating. So that's this like coating on the inside. So that works really well. It's got great waterproofing properties, so we do need to have that on this tent. And it stops like light penetration through the canvas because we're at a 300 GSM. We put that coating on there, and that sorts that out. Same as on the Rainfly, we've got the coating as well, and we do actually have that same coating on the Rainfly of the Plus. Now on the Plus, we went the 300 GSM as well, because I just personally don't like seeing tents and the Rainflies all caved in and looks wonky and whatnot. So to keep these, not putting these at like an 8 mil steel, because then they would just be impossible to bend, we just did the Rainfly out of the lightweight stuff, and that's the stuff we've been using for the past 5 years. And that is super waterproof and looks great. It all sits nice and flush like that. It's not drooping everywhere. So we use that on the Rainfly of the Plus. Now the body of the Plus, this is the 380 GSM with the no coating on the inside. So this costs about double the amount to produce with this canvas, and we really could have just used the same canvas in this one and no one would have really noticed or anything, but we want to bring out the best products, and that means spending a bit more sometimes. So the price comes up a bit when you do buy it, but having a thicker canvas, like I'm sure you can all appreciate, it's similar to the tents you would have grown up in, your ground tents. It's a really nice canvas. It breathes really well. So if you're down south, you're doing a lot of winter camping, this is going to be really good. You get minimal condensation because the amount that this canvas breathes is astronomical compared to like a normal rooftop tent canvas. The other canvas still breathes, but the properties of this one is just out of this world. It's way more efficient. Now it is super thick. It doesn't technically have the coating on it, so we can't call it completely blackout, but it's like 98%. Like you'll still be able to sleep in this one. It's super blackout still all ripstop. So you always make sure you're getting a tent with ripstop squares in it. You don't want to ever like tear resistant. I wouldn't mess with it. Just get ripstop. It's got the squares in it. All the good brands use it. If you get a hole in it, it starts to rip. It's patchable. You're not going to open your tent one day and it's going to take the whole thing with it, because it does have the squares and it can't spread. So make sure we have that. YKK zips on both the tents. So they're the best zips on the market that we found. We've messed around with a few different brands and we always seem to come back to YKK, minimal issues. So that's who we've been using. Fundamentally, same tents, like we were saying, they take up the same amount of width and length, and We've got the double ones, which is the 1.4, then we've got the more like king single ones, which you still get 2 people in easily in the 1.2. Now, that's pretty well it. Like, they share the same sort of hinges and the same mechanisms, the same front pole, fundamentally very similar tent. Just, we thought we'd throw this video out because we get asked this question, I'd say a couple times a day, and which one's going to suit me best. Personally, I actually run the thin one on my car. I do like having a really sleek tent, and I'm happy to take my pillows out. I've got a canopy, I put them in there, and I like to have the sleek tent. Whereas Christian, he likes the thicker tent. He's got a little less room in his car, and he wants to be able to store everything inside. So something for everyone, and not every product's going to suit every person. That's why we have 2 different variants, and we'll be selling both variants and not just doing one, because one thing suits one person and one thing suits the other. So we've got 2 models there to choose from. Both the walkthrough in-depth videos are in the description. So we've got a full, I think 30 minute video on these guys. They're below. Check them out if you need more detail on them. And as always, if you got any questions, let us know.